Radio Raheem here with promoter Kathy Duva. First, as they commended all the promoters at the beginning of this press conference, we're working together, as do I. It makes for a great card. You're seeing Bernard Hopkins and Smith in there, but we're also seeing in the ring with Bernard Hopkins in his corner, a trainer you're very familiar with, and John David Jackson. Talk to me about, like, I don't know if they talked to you about how that thing came together or what it's like to be here with them in that role.
No, they haven't talked to me about it, but I believe John fought Bernard at one point, so that kind of goes back to the whole Gaddy Ward thing. You know, we've been here before, Gaddy and Ward. Ward ended up in Gaddy's corner in his last fight, and here we have. So maybe this is some sort of boxing tradition that we haven't really thought about much, or maybe it's a main events thing. But it's nice. It's nice. It's nice for competitors to become friends.
That's right. No, exactly. And for promoters to work together and make big cards. And the reason I brought that up is because the irony has definitely been discussed, where Bernard Hopkins is maybe the prototype that Ward was thinking about when he was fighting Kovalev, and now we've got a guy who says he's patterned himself after Kovalev and Smith. And there recently, we've heard Ward talk about retirement instead of taking on the rematch. I mean, have you heard that?
Well, it's the first I've heard. I can't say I blame him. I'd rather retire than fight Sergey too. But I'm sure this is. We'll see.
I mean,
he signed a contract. He's committed to the fight. We'll see what happens.
Well, maybe it's a good thing that you haven't heard that. He did say that in the press just a couple days ago, if not maybe even 24 hours ago. But like you say, first hearing that for the first time, does that strike you as just a negotiation ploy, or is it something that you would take seriously?
I don't know. You're repeating to me what somebody said. I don't know what's going on, but look, look, he took. It's early. He took a beating despite the decision. He was pretty beat up. Sergey was the guy who didn't have a mark on him. Sergey's very anxious to get in the ring again.
So let me ask you this way. Have negotiations begun? Do you feel, is this looking like something that's going to be able to be made with relative ease?
They have not begun yet, but I had a nice conversation with Peter Nelson of HBO. He's been in touch with them, and I'm told to expect that we'll be talking soon. So I remain the eternal optimist.
Given your druthers, if in a perfect world for you, when would this fight happen? How soon does Sergey want to get back in the ring and try to reclaim his titles?
Well, we'd heard that Manny Pacquiao was going to fight in April on pay-per-view. I read something the other day says he's going to fight in June. If April's open, we're there.
You're very close to your fighter. Obviously, you guys have a relationship. So when this happened, and now waiting for a date or a possible rematch, hopefully soon, like when you want it, how's his mentality? How's he feeling emotionally? Like, is he already in the gym? What's happening with him right now?
He's actually going to the Russian cosmonaut school, where they're going to run him through a battery of physical tests so that he can find out what more he can do to be stronger. So, you always worry when a guy suffers that first loss. We have had situations in the past with these heartbreaking defeats, Taylor and Chavez for one, certainly Whitaker and Chavez, where Whitaker really won the fight and got a draw. Robbed was written across the cover of Sports Illustrated. That still goes down as the worst robbery in boxing history. Have a little experience with this. That heartbreaking loss destroyed Meldrick Taylor. Pernell Whitaker came back stronger. Sergey's going to come back stronger, and that every indication I've gotten so far is that he has just taken this as a lesson that he's just going to have to knock him out next time.
And with that said, even some people who agree with you that Kovalev won the fight are predicting Ward in the rematch because Ward's got him figured out. Like, he's not going to be able to make an adjustment in the rematch to win. Do you believe that? Obviously, if not, what do you feel like he has to do to get the win that he didn't get the first time? And maybe does he need more time than April to make those changes?
No, I don't think he does. If his reaction had been different, I would think more time would matter. But his reaction has been as positive as can be. Like, oh my God, I honestly believe Sergey figured Ward out. So we'll see. It was late. He was coming on. He was doing better in the later. Yeah, you saw this huge momentum switch in the fight. There came a point where certainly Ward figured Sergey out. And then there came a point around the 10th round where the judges were not watching the same fight I was, where I saw Sergey figuring Ward out, and he did. And so my belief is when that fight ended, it was the opposite of what Ward thinks, but maybe we shouldn't tell him that if he's thinking about retiring. I don't know.
They made such a big deal about the purse imbalance as they saw it before the fight, and they said that you should have got more money and all these things. So in the rematch, the reason Ward gave for possibly retirement, saying that it has to make business sense and kind of that whole thing. Where do you think the purse lies now? Like if that was the draw then?
Here's the thing, Raheem. The purse disparity existed because Ward has a promoter who has made a decision for whatever reason to take money out of his own pocket and give it to his fighter. If I was as rich as JC, maybe I would do that, but I'm not. I'm the guy who came along and discovered Sergey Kovalev when he was nothing, and he is now something, and we worked together to make all that happen, and we have a great relationship. Sergey understands, and we talked about this before the fight was announced, when we realized what the Rock Nation people had guaranteed to Ward, that this promotion did not earn the kind of money it would have taken to pay purses at that level. I don't know if the next one will, but Jay-Z has a deal with Ward. That's their business. Sergey's purse is based on reality, and it will be based on reality again. As far as splits are concerned, those have been negotiated. They were negotiated when we made the original deal. It was splits negotiated for if you win, if you lose, if there's a rematch. Stuff's all done. So I don't, that's between him and his promoter. If he wants more money from his promoter, it's up to his promoter to decide if they want to double down on that.
So since fight night, like you just said, from your perspective, it seems like this is already all the kind of sticky bits have been worked out before even the first fight. So when can we expect you guys to start talking and hashing out whatever particular details are left?
I would presume it would be probably after the first of the year. We have, or perhaps next week. I don't know. I know that Rock Nation is busy getting another promotion up and running, and so it is hard to be running two promotions at once. I don't think there's a whole lot to be negotiated here, because I think we negotiated the splits in advance. We negotiated all of those things that matter in advance. We have a template now of a promotion. We know what will and what won't happen. We know what things will cost and what they won't cost. We're not flying blind like we were the first time. So the truth is, if everybody wants to sit down and get this deal done, it should take about 5 minutes. But, we'll see.
Well, for my sake, I certainly hope you guys get this thing figured out and soon. We'd love to see it as soon as possible. Radio Raheem with Kathy Duva. Good luck on those negotiations. Good luck with your fight Saturday night. We'll talk to you about that on Saturday.
Always a pleasure.